Pretty sure this is take 4 now. What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to this week's first episode of the greatest podcast on turf. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Ryan.
The fuck was that?
Hiccup.
Yeah. It's the dog days of content now. The Super Bowl is next week. The NFL season is pretty much over. Starting to get into some basketball more, so be on the lookout for that. We got a big UFC card next weekend that we might cover. So be on the lookout for that. Today we're just going to kind of sit back and reflect on the 2022-2023 NFL season now that it is pretty much wrapped up. Now, we don't really need to wait for the Super Bowl to happen because the 2 number 1 seeds are in the Super Bowl. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. Like this video. Follow us on all social medias. Check out our sponsor, Literally Pizza Shop, the best cheesesteaks and the best pizza in the entire state of Delaware. You are eligible for a 10% discount if you go in and show proof you're subscribed. And if I'm there, I will personally buy your meal for you, free of charge. So yeah, I'll say, let's take a look at this thing I saw on Twitter.
Let's do the definites first.
Okay.
The Sean Payton.
Sean Payton did just get traded to the Denver Broncos with a 3rd-round pick in 2024 for the Broncos' 1st-round pick this year that they got from the Dolphins in the Bradley Chubb trade and a 2nd-round pick next year. Now, he is the 4th coach in history to be traded. The most recent one was John Gruden from Tampa to the Raiders. Then the one before that was Bill Belichick from Cleveland to New England. One of them worked out, one of them didn't. One of them turned into a dynasty, and the other one was really bad and probably ruined the Raiders for a little bit.
And one would have thought that Gruden had a much better shot than Belichick.
Yeah. So, we got that. DeMeco Ryans also did just sign to be the next head coach of the Houston Texans. New day in Houston. This is their 2nd or 3rd head coach since Bill O'Brien left. So,
Did you see this little beef between Schefter and Rappaport?
no.
One of them, I think Rappaport said that the Broncos were in on DeMeco Ryans.
Well, because they were, because...
Schefter said he wasn't. So they're having a little beef.
Well, yeah, because now I saw the Broncos, they closed in on DeMeco. They went after DeMeco Ryans. They were tied to to the Harbaugh from Michigan.
Schefter said it was Payton the whole way.
Really? And then Rappaport, according to Rappaport, it was DeMeco, Harbaugh, Sean Payton. Then they tried to get DeMeco Ryans again. And then they got Sean Payton. So one of them's right, one of them's wrong.
I always rock with Shefty.
You're wrong. I always rock with the greatest podcast on turf.
Listen, we don't have... Sean Payton don't talk to us.
Not yet.
Schefter doesn't do any type of analyst. He just does wiretaps, you know what I mean?
It's fair. It's like Woj.
What would you grade the coaching changes?
DeMeco Ryans I like. I can see him having success like Robert Saleh.
So I would give that like a B+.
Yeah, I would say B+ for the DeMeco Ryans. And Sean Payton.
Give a grade for both teams, Saints and Broncos.
Saints, I'll give them an A. I'll give them an A+ because Sean Payton wasn't coming back. You got a 1st and 2nd round pick.
And how do we even know Sean Payton's going to go coach for the Broncos? Is there anything that's tying him to go coach for the Broncos? Could he just show up and be like, "Nah, I'm good"?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because then at that point, it's probably the trade has to go back.
Well, he was like, "Nah, I'm good for the Saints." So can he just be like, "Nah, I'm good"?
I think he was just ready to move on from New Orleans after Drew Brees left.
Yeah.
But no, and then the Broncos, it's weird. I guess the Broncos are kind of at a point where they feel as though their team is solid enough to make a run, so they felt comfortable giving up the 1st round pick. Me personally, do I agree with that? I don't know if I agree with that, but I mean...
Talking about a guy that, he only had success with Drew Brees and didn't have that much with it.
Say C+, being generous. A generous C+.
Yeah. I'll agree with that, but if he makes a deep playoff run, we're going to look like assholes, which is fine.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It would not.
You were wrong about Matt Stafford. I was wrong about Ben Simmons. Here we are.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was right about D-Book and the Suns, though.
No.
And Matt Stafford.
D-Book, you're still wrong about.
You're crazy. All right, NFL quarterback offseason predictions. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on these. San Francisco 49ers starting quarterback next year, Aaron Rodgers.
Gotta go, Brock. It's only right.
Yeah.
Granted,
Raiders.
he's going to be out for 6 months. So, what is it, February technically?
Be back for June, start of...
It's February. Back for August.
July. No, 6 plus 2 is 8. He'll be back for preseason.
Which is not good.
No. Raiders, Tom Brady. Him
Wouldn't
and
be
Josh
surprised.
McDaniels are back.
I don't think
No.
Brady goes there, though.
No, I don't think he's going to go play behind
I think the Raiders try, but I don't think he
an atrocious offensive line.
Yeah, I think the Raiders try, but I don't think he makes the...
Falcons, Lamar Jackson. I can see it.
I can see it.
But I do think that he goes to the next team, the Carolina Panthers, who are predicted Derek Carr.
No, that's a Panthers thing to do.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the Panthers, but...
Jets, Jimmy G. I like it.
I think that...
I think that's
probably the highest favorite out of all of these.
out of all these so far. Trey Lance to the Titans. They got to do something. There's no way they keep Trey and Brock.
What's the trade price for Trey Lance? A fifth?
I don't know.
It ain't a first, for damn sure.
No.
I don't think it can be a second.
Look at it like this. If Matt Stafford and Russell Wilson were 3 first-round picks and a bunch of other shit.
How the hell does that have anything to do with anything?
Sounded better in my head. New Orleans Saints, Ryan Tannehill. Saints just going from below average to below average. Not much of a tier gap between Jameis and Ryan Tannehill or Andy Dalton, is a fact of the matter. Ravens, C.J. Stroud. That is assuming that Lamar leaves. Colts, Will Levis. I can see it. They've been tied all offseason. Bryce Young to the Texans. Extremely likely in our mock draft tomorrow. You'll see who we took with them at 2. Check it out for tomorrow. And the Bucks, Baker Mayfield. I love it. The career revival. He's back. Gives me another reason to keep watching Tampa. My second favorite quarterback in the league.
I guess.
Then Geno Smith and Daniel Jones re-sign. Now, what contract are you giving Geno Smith?
It's got to just be another 1-year deal.
I don't think so. I think Seattle's going to give him 2 to 3.
I mean, they can if they want.
Is that what they should do?
No, they should give him 1 or you can give him 2 because then you can mentor the new quarterback.
You give him 2. You draft Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson's year 3. Geno leaves. Ant Rich comes in, and Seattle's back under 70-some-year-old Pete Carroll,
who does not look 70. Props to him.
Yeah,
he still sucks though.
He's on the imaginary whiteboard we got on that wall.
Yep.
Daniel Jones. What are you giving Daniel Jones?
I hope they give him so much money. It's ridiculous.
Are you paying Daniel Jones $25 million a year to be your quarterback?
I'm not, but I think they have to. Somebody will.
I think that they have to. Nah, I think that they absolutely have to.
I mean, it's really like the NFL is so hard because if you don't have one of those quarterbacks, it's really, really hard to compete.
Yeah, nah, I mean...
There's just like an echelon of quarterbacks, and if you don't have one that...
Yeah, it's like... I don't know, I guess we're at that, like... I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. This episode was kind of supposed to be what we learned from the NFL season, but I say we just kind of go with it.
Yeah.
Sunday's games, conference championships, the worst officiated weekend in NFL history.
No. I can think of one that was way worse.
That call...
Okay.
The call was bad. I'm talking about overall officiating. Both games terrible.
It was miserable.
I know exactly what you're talking about. The fucking Rams Saints.
Yeah.
That uncalled PI.
But yeah, Eagles Niners. I mean, Niners can't catch a break, and they're even getting penalties on them. They're one of the least penalized teams in football. I'm pretty sure they're like mid-pack, and they were just getting penalized.
I think they had 6 penalties in the first half.
And I see like Eagles fans talking shit like, "Oh, we destroyed the Niners we destroyed their defense." When in reality, I mean, they didn't do that good. I mean, their touchdowns were fueled by the 4th and 3 that shouldn't have counted. It did whatever. A penalty by Jordan Mason who hit the punter. They had one where they got it at the 30.
Fumble. The Josh Johnson fumble was what turned that whole game
around. They got the ball
around.
at like 30. Yeah, there was 1 minute left. It was 7-7. And then at the end of halftime, it's
21-7.
21-7.
Yeah.
And it changes the whole game. But most of their drives were because of penalties or it was just... the Niners just didn't have a chance. I mean, props to Philly because you can't blame Philly for taking advantage of the situation, but just chill.
How do you feel about the narrative of a Mickey Mouse path to the Super Bowl for Philly?
Oh, it's Mickey Mouse, but they ain't winning because Kelsey's coming. We already have money on it, so it don't really matter.
That is true. Yeah.
I'm so glad that the Chiefs won because I'd have been so pissed off if I was eliminated from that in the championship schemes.
But nah, I mean, Eagles, I think, not to take anything away from the Eagles, kind of like you said, they made the most of the opportunity, but you play Daniel Jones and the Giants in your first playoff game, blow them out. Then Brock Purdy gets hurt in the second quarter, and their fourth-string quarterback gets hurt, and Brock Purdy throws 2 passes the whole second half.
Brock Purdy, a guy who is out for the next 6 months, and he could not throw the ball at all. He wouldn't come back in a playoff game to go to the Super Bowl because he couldn't throw. I mean, that is just pure.
Me personally, you suck it up and play.
I think there's a certain point where like you can't.
I understand, but this is the biggest game of your life. You know in the back of your mind you're fighting for a job. You go out there, pop some Advil, take a cortisone shot, and you just go.
I mean, it's hard. I understand what you're saying, but in like a certain, at some point your body can't.
I understand, but I guess I mean,
you never sprained your UCL.
Nope.
So.
That's fair. All right, I mean, I respect it, but I mean, the Eagles though, I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. But we'll save that for next week. We're not going to argue it on this podcast. We'll save it for next week.
Because we need content.
Yeah. Need to stretch the Super Bowl out as long as we can.
Chiefs Bengals. How do you feel about that game?
I think that there is definitely some foul play. 100% some foul play. Now, I will say that Joseph Osai penalty at the end of the game was a penalty.
It was.
Jermaine Pratt is a jackass.
I don't know. I do disagree with you on that.
Terrible teammate.
I disagree with you on that.
Why though? I'm curious to hear why do you disagree?
I think that is he wrong for saying that? Yes. But the fact that just Osai did what he did, and we're forgiving him because he made a stupid mistake.
Mm-hmm. What
But we're destroying Jermaine Pratt because he was pissed off in the locker room and said some shit.
Yeah, that's not what you do.
What if he apologized an hour later? You just had to cool down.
I understand it's the principle though.
What's the principle?
It's the principle. You don't do that as a teammate. You don't do that.
Teammates fight all the time.
I understand. I understand, but it's different.
I don't think so.
Young kid had the game.
How old is
life.
Jermaine Pratt?
Older than Joseph Osai.
He's probably 27.
Joseph Osai is like 22. He's barely older than you and I. It's the principle, though.
Yeah, but it's I don't think it's the cameraman's. I don't think the cameraman should even be in the damn. I don't know how.
That's besides the point, though.
I think that in the heat of the moment, if he said some shit, then he said some shit. But as long as they make it better at the end, then it's fine.
Back to shout out to BJ Hill though. BJ Hill, W teammate.
He's 26.
Stuck by his side in the talked to him on the sideline. Tried to bring him up a little bit, help him out. Stood by him in the locker room during the post-game interview. Stayed with his boy, made sure the reporters weren't tweaking on him, asking him any stupid questions. Props to BJ Hill, Jermaine Pratt, L teammate. But back to the officiating. Think it was bad. And Jermaine Pratt had no room to talk either. He gave up a 30, missed a tackle on a 20-yard
Jermaine Pratt
run.
admits he was wrong.
Missed a tackle on a 20-yard, gave up a 20-yard run before that play.
But
that play should have never happened. There was a blatant holding call, which caused Mahomes to scramble out of the pocket. It was so bad. Trey Hendrickson almost got his shoulder pads ripped off. It was such a bad holding call. They literally have a ref to stand in the back to watch for holding. There is 100% something.
There's refs to stand on the line of scrimmage and watch for false starts, and Lane Johnson was jumping the whole damn game. So what about it?
That was also really bad. I didn't notice that watching it, but seeing it on Twitter, he is like.
I called it out once when they were in the end zone. I literally said that guy just jumped.
He is like taking half a step, like.
Yeah, and it's a big ass advantage, but I mean, I feel like we're assholes to sit here and say that there's not some type of manipulation going on.
100%.
Because there's got to be some type. Are the players involved? Probably not.
I think that the only way the NFL can take control of this and do something about the refs is if the NFLPA files a lawsuit.
Refs make good money too. I didn't realize they make shit.
I didn't know NFL refs are only part-time.
They make money.
I understand, but it's only part-time job. Like, some of the refs have, like, other jobs.
They shouldn't. They make like $300K. I don't know why. I don't know why they suck at their jobs, getting paid that much money. But, I guess they can just keep pulling the human error type of card and seeing how that works out for them. I don't know.
I mean, it's just at a point now where it's out of hand, I feel like. I mean, I feel like that Chiefs-Bengals game was just blatantly bad.
Yeah, and I also think that these refs probably go through like a lot of courses and shit, so I'm not sure that there's literally anything that the NFL can do to make them better, except fire them and bring in new ones. But
I mean, my favorite is when Gene Steratore, the head official of them all, will be like, yeah, this is a blatant fumble. And then the refs come out. The ruling on the field is the ball was not fumbled. It's like if Gene Steratore is training you and telling you what it is and how it should be, if he is the top dog.
I don't think he has anything to do with them, but
how are the guys under him saying otherwise? It's bullshit, and it's terrible, and the refs are costing these teams and these players millions and millions of dollars by whatever they have going on behind the scenes. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
I mean, in theory, it would not have been hard to bet on the Chiefs to win the game. At one point, they were 1-point dogs.
Yeah.
So it was an even money line. All they had to do was get Pat Mahomes to win a football game.
Yeah.
To make money.
It's like, it's not even, it's ridiculous, and it's bad, and it is not a good look for the NFL.
No.
And I think that I don't know what the solution is. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
that's not our problem.
Yeah.
Respect.
All I'm saying, though, the Super Bowl, the NFL refs are better be on their A game.
They already announced them. I don't really follow refs. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit. Fuck all them. I mean, even in basketball, the LeBron foul the other night.
That was so clean, all ball.
You're crazy.
Tatum MVP.
You're out of your mind.
Block of the year.
That is a very bad no call.
It was. That is like one of the things that should be blatantly obvious to the point, but.
And when the what did the tweet say that the NBA Refs Association was like, we realize we messed up like all humans do. We're gonna lose sleep over this call for a while. You don't give a fuck, dude.
Really, as long as and if we're being honest, as long as they're consistent, it's fine. But when things go one way, it's a bad look.
Yeah, I mean, and
if you consistently suck, you just suck.
Yeah, but when it's bad. Like, Cincy, Kansas City the other night, it's bad.
Yeah.
But nah, I mean...
Speaking of, what did we learn this year? Number one, refs suck.
Yes.
What a segue.
Yeah, perfect. What was my biggest takeaway from this NFL season? The Chargers suck. Don't know what to say about Matthew Stafford. Mac Jones sucks. I was right about the Baker Mayfield revival tour.
Slight begging there.
Dak Prescott is just Tony Romo with a playoff win.
I don't know. I'm still not blaming Dak.
Going based off principle, Dak Prescott's Tony Romo with a playoff win. Well, 2 playoff wins now, but... I
don't. Is it Dak or is it everybody around him?
I mean, Dak didn't play good by any fact of the matter. His best game was Tampa, and that was his best game he's ever had in his life.
If Tom Brady comes in and loses in the first round, is it Tom Brady or is it just Dallas? Because at some point it's got to be Dallas. Throwing it out there.
That's fair, but I
mean, Dak's numbers are the same as Joe Burrow's in the playoffs.
Joe Burrow's been to the Super Bowl.
No, I really don't. I'm saying his numbers are about the same.
Are you just comparing, or are you saying Dak's better than Joe Burrow?
I'm just comparing the numbers of the two. That's it.
Film don't lie. Numbers do.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, the Dallas Cowboys lose in the first round every damn year. And if you want to keep blaming the quarterbacks, I don't know what to tell you.
I think it all falls back on Jerry.
See? Why didn't you just say that 2 minutes ago?
Could have saved this whole thing.
we could have stopped the argument. Would have been fine. I wouldn't have gave a damn.
What was your biggest takeaway from the year?
Biggest takeaway? I mean, I guess the running back thing. I always knew that, though.
Yeah. All right, how about this? Fun way to do it. We'll pick every NFL team that was either really good or really bad that wasn't expected to be and say our biggest takeaway. Or I guess what we learned.
Okay. I mean, we can just go through the team. So the Bills, they were 13-3. I didn't really learn shit, if we're being honest. They still don't have a number 2 receiver, and that's something that they need to address going forward.
I learned that the Josh Allen slander is really bad because comparing him to Cam Newton is terrible.
Are we saying Cam Newton's bad? I'm confused. That Cam Newton? Like the one, like back in the day, like the good one?
was there ever a good Cam Newton beside the 1 year?
Yeah. The 1 year, yeah. I mean, I don't know what the comparison is. I mean, he's better than Cam Newton, but like, I don't know if we're shooting at Cam Newton here. What are we doing? Like, what?
I don't know. I saw something on Twitter after they lost.
Like, are we kicking Cam Newton? The Dolphins, they were 9-8. That's just bad luck.
I literally just can't buy. What is that? 3 years now that they just can't catch a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar to the Niners. We might as well just skip the Niners. They can't catch a damn break either.
Yeah.
The Patriots. Calm 8-9. It wasn't MAGA Mac.
The Patriots have a gaping hole on the entire offense.
Well, we knew this.
And it needs to be addressed this offseason, whether it's getting Lamar Jackson, figuring it out, but Mac Jones is not him, and I don't know how much longer Bill Belichick has as a head coach in the NFL.
Your point scored is like on the same line as the Ravens.
I understand. I watch Patriots football. It's bad. It's bad. I know. You don't got to remind me. It's fucking terrible.
Jets, I don't think we learned. They're in a
weird, yeah, I mean, they're in a good spot.
They're in a good spot.
Despite whiffing on the number 2 pick last year.
Bengals, I think the Bengals, what we learned is that if you like a guy, you take him. Even if you need Penny Sewell really, really bad.
Yeah. Another thing is that the Bengals are good, but not good enough to beat Kansas City in the refs. Just got 2-on-1 handicap match, old school WWE style.
Yeah. Bengals got to win the Super Bowl next year or they are in serious trouble.
Could you say the same about Buffalo?
Probably. I mean, because we're at the point now where Mahomes has proven that he can do it without everybody else.
I think if Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, he's better than Aaron Rodgers all time.
He already has more Super Bowls. He will have more Super Bowls than him.
I think that despite Pat Mahomes being young, I feel as though
I'll back that. I don't give a damn. Okay.
That if Pat Mahomes wins the Super Bowl, he's better than Aaron Rodgers all time, and he's probably a top 5 quarterback all time.
I really don't.
Comment what you guys
You're
think.
talking to the wrong guy.
On this TikTok, comment below what you guys think about that.
But now we're going to see if Joe Burrow can do it by himself. Not saying he can or not saying he can't.
By himself? What do you mean?
T. Higgins is going to be gone. It's going to be Burrow and Jamar. It's it. He's not by himself, but he doesn't have a superstar team anymore.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon's probably going to be gone. Like, the superstar teams are just gone once you get off that rookie deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Josh Allen's super team is gone, or is it? I mean, he's at that point. I don't think their window's closing because your window is your rookie quarterback's contract, in my opinion.
Did Allen get paid yet?
I'm pretty sure. I think he did. The Ravens. No, it's just Harbaugh's going to Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Steelers, Mike Tomlin, that man just
Mike Tomlin don't know how to
get
lose.
a high pick.
Yeah. Just Mike Tomlin just doesn't like having a good draft pick.
He said that shit's overrated.
Yup.
The Browns.
You sold your soul for a serial criminal. And look where it got you.
7-10.
Yup.
Jaguars. Things are looking good.
The future is extremely bright for Jacksonville and Trevor and Dougie P.
Never thought I'd hear that about the city of Jacksonville ever.
But the future is extremely bright.
Tennessee.
I was right. one-dimensional team with a bad quarterback with one of the best running backs in football behind a bad offensive line with no receivers equals bad.
Yeah. But if they get a receiver,
No, because
then we're cooking.
Still don't have a quarterback.
Tannehill's good enough to throw it deep and hand it off. That's why they had success. Now they can't even throw it deep. Colts, do not hire Jeff Saturday for the love of God. He might be a good guy, but Jesus.
The Colts. You are one injury away from being really bad and a quarterback away from maybe being really good.
I don't even know what that means. Texans. I'm disappointed. I thought the Texans were doing things right.
No, you're out of your mind. It was always them being bad.
Yeah, but I thought they were doing things right.
Yeah, I mean, they have a few young pieces, but they're just so far. I feel like they're like 3 years away. Like it's gonna be a long couple of years for D'Amico Ryans.
I mean, I was kind of thinking like 5-12, a couple close games. Davis Mills turned it on at the end of last season. A little bit.
That was just a weird situation because he was playing good, but not good enough to the point where he should have got benched. But then they benched him and they were just rotating him and Jeff Driscoll. It was weird. That was a very weird situation.
Chiefs.
Need I say?
Pat Mahomes is just that guy.
Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
Chargers. When that weather gets cold, they're done.
Yeah, we said it at the start.
Dawn of damn time.
Yeah, and Brendan Staley's not a good coach.
And now they got Kellen Moore. Now they got two of them.
They got a bad defensive-minded head coach and a bad offensive-minded coordinator.
Just because you're young and white don't mean you're a mastermind.
Not every young white guy is Sean McVay, and I don't know when the NFL is going to realize that, but I mean, come on.
The Raiders.
Suck.
How they beat you guys though? In one of the worst plays I've ever witnessed.
The Raiders. What are you doing?
Sucking.
It was always the Raiders, but they just fumbled. John Gruden ruined that team for years to come. I don't know.
Farrell. Locking it in.
Yup. The year John Gruden came in, the team was on a bad path. And then they had the whole Antonio Brown situation on Hard Knocks. And that was when shit really hit the fan. It all started back when the Raiders made the playoffs and they were like 10-6, really good. Derek Carr, Michael Crabtree, right? Latavius Murray, Amari Cooper.
A squad. Latavius Murray was a dog, too.
Derek Carr gets hurt the game before the playoffs. Cody Kessler comes in. They get blown out, and the rest is history. The Raiders have not been the same since, and that is what I learned.
Yeah. The Broncos. Sell some bathrooms so you can finally beat that margin. He did beat it. So
this year is the Broncos' year. If they have a bad year... No. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. If the Broncos have a bad year this year, it is time for them to fully rebuild again. Start from zero.
So that's fine. Good.
That's my... If they're not good this year with the squad they have with Russell Wilson, Sean Payton, it is time to do a full rebuild. Let Sean Payton do what he wants and build his team from scratch. Yes, gut the team. You keep PS2, and everybody else walks.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what it comes to if they don't make a playoff run next year.
Jumping to the NFC, Philly.
What can you say?
Jalen Hurts. I've been backing him. I just wish he wasn't in Philly.
Jalen Hurts was not an Alabama quarterback. He's Oklahoma. Thank you, next.
I don't really care. I think he can be both. But I don't have anything signed Jalen Hurts because he's a damn Eagle.
He's very expensive as well.
Didn't used to be.
Now he is. His rookie cards are like so bad.
I should have got a signed helmet that one day. But too bad he's an Eagle.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys. It's the same shit every year.
What I learned is that, once again, it's Jerry's world and we just live in it.
As long as we got McCarthy calling the plays next year, we're good.
Yeah, because how did that... what does history say about Mike McCarthy calling the offense?
Listen,
listen,
listen, you can't hate Aaron Rodgers and hate Mike McCarthy. You can only hate one. Pick a side.
I hate them both.
No, because they disagree with each other.
I don't give a shit. I disagree with both of them.
Pick a side.
They both suck.
Pick a side.
No.
Giants are 9-7 this year. It was just success.
The future's looking bright. Brian Dable really shifted the culture, and I think that having a coach
They finally started doing good after a yacht pitcher a couple years ago.
Yeah, after all that years, what was that, like 20? We were like freshmen in high school, I think, when they did that.
Yeah.
Hanging out with like Trey Songz on a yacht in jeans and Timbs in like
Sterling
October.
Right after a game.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Commanders. They are the worst 8-8 team ever.
Quarterback. Next.
The Vikings.
Suck.
Biggest frauds in history.
Kirk Cousins is bad. Kirk Cousins, as we've been saying, is Tony Romo, Phillip Rivers. Just average.
I think Rivers and Romo might be just a little bit.
I mean, what I mean by that is Kirk Cousins is average and he'll never win.
Yeah. The Lions.
The future is extremely bright. They were huge overachievers this year. Props to them. If they keep building up the defense, they're going to be competing for that division next year.
The Vikings had a negative points forward, points allowed.
I don't know how.
Just
it's bad.
Question, what's the difference between the Lions and the Vikings at the quarterback position?
Lions and the Vikings. Nothing.
So how is their future bright and the Vikings ain't?
They have a better squad, top to bottom.
Sure.
I mean, if you look at it, the Vikings, yeah, they have Dalvin Cook. They have a couple young. They have 2 stud tackles, young.
Jay Jettis.
Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the league.
That's about it. It's fair.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing out.
No, I understand. I was genuinely answering that question.
Packers.
Aaron Rodgers is the most overrated player of my lifetime, is what I learned from this season. Got carried by Devontae Adams his whole career.
There's got to be somebody more overrated.
No. Devontae Adams got carried Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers gets way too much credit for how good he actually is.
Got to be somebody more overrated than Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think so. I genuinely don't think Aaron Rodgers is that good.
The Bears.
Justin Fields looked good.
Yeah, we'll go with them.
Yeah.
Lock that in.
Justin Fields looked good.
The Buccaneers. Horrible points for points allowed.
I hope and I'm glad that they enjoyed their Super Bowl 2 years ago. Because
it's done.
TB12's gone. Got a bunch of old players. A squad that could win a Super Bowl again. Just missing a few holes, but you don't have a quarterback.
Question, really random. Are you going to watch 80 for Brady?
No. Danielle showed me that one night, and I was just like, she was like, yeah, they're making a Tom Brady movie. I'm like, wait, really? Like, I had no idea. And we watched the trailer. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, this is the Tom Brady movie that you're telling me about?
Tom Brady wants that. Tom Brady's the main character.
I understand.
He's volunteering.
I'm not, no.
I think my grandmother's going to go. You can go with her. Great-grandmother.
I'm sure she's an amazing lady, but I'll respectfully decline that offer. Because the next movie that I go see is Cocaine Bear. When we go see it when it comes out opening night.
Got to.
Have
Movie
to.
review on a podcast.
Yes.
Panthers. 7-10 Panthers.
They're a quarterback away from being good.
I think the division is theirs.
If they get a quarterback, they're the Jags.
I don't even know if we need to. Is the division theirs?
Yes.
Are they your favorite next year, even if they don't get a quarterback? I think they're mine.
Yeah.
Assuming there's no Brady.
If Brady leaves, the Panthers are my division favorites next year.
The Saints
suck.
They probably need a quarterback.
They're in that like middle tier where it's like could compete, but you don't have a quarterback, and your gaping holes are really big, and they're not gonna fix overnight.
Falcons.
Caleb Williams.
Yep.
That's all I have to say.
49ers can't catch a break.
Can't catch a break. Got to figure out what you're doing at quarterback. We're at the same spot we were when they drafted Trey Lance. Or when they traded up to that 3 pick to get a quarterback.
Seahawks.
The biggest overachievers of the year, in my opinion. Their over-under win total was like 5.5 going into this year, and they made the playoffs. Props to them. Keep at it.
I still hate you, Pete.
And I'm not a big Geno guy either, but...
Rams, I guess you just got hurt.
Just couldn't catch a break. Another team sold their soul for a Super Bowl.
It worked.
Yeah.
Cardinals
got
hurt, and they got a new coach. So,
yeah.
Or they are getting a new coach.
They are getting a new coach. Which I thought was going to be Sean Payton, but now I don't know who the hell they're going to get.
Brian Flores.
I think he's going to go play DC somewhere.
Not if you can get a head coaching job for the Arizona Cardinals.
All right. Just going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Peace.